Alright, this is another review from P, and this is PB&K, or rather it's PB&K being reviewed by P. Anyway, today we're reviewing Spider-Man, the arcade game. You get to play as it came out in '91, it's the Sega game, and it's a nice arcade port. I found out about it at South of the Border, which is a tourist trap between North Carolina and South Carolina. It's Mexican themed, seems kind of racist, but it's actually a fun place to go to. You can ride the sombrero up and down. And they have a dirty old man shop in an arcade, or at least they had an arcade. This is where I saw it was like probably when I was like 13, because it came out in '91. I don't think I played until like '93, '94. Anyway, you can play as 4 characters at a time on this. You can play as Spider-Man, Black Cat, Namor, and of course Hawkeye. But like, it's a really fun beat 'em up. You just pretty much go through. It's very simple. They take it through a few different phases, and apparently it's broken up into 4 basic tiers or stages, where you basically meet pretty much Venom, Kingpin, Scorpion, the Lizard. The game ends with Dr. Doom. Venom's in it, if I didn't mention him, because he's like the first boss. Electro. They have a nice, interesting cast of characters for this one, and it has its quirks, because Lord knows there are just some times where it feels super gimmicky, where they've kind of based moves off of each one of the characters. But it is fun, and I did enjoy playing it. There's been a lot of very interesting Spider-Man games that have come out, and as a beat 'em up doesn't really exemplify Spider-Man 100% per se, to really let you know what he's capable of. I'm kind of glad he was able to go into the 3D world, because I think that's where Spidey really looks best. But as far as 2D games go, this is probably one of the better, because as I played through it, I kind of am reminded of those horrible movies that Marvel did in the 70s. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. Anyway, aside from that, it's pretty smooth, and for back then it's awesome graphics, because it looks like a freaking comic book, man. Now, as we play, I'll be the first one to say, if you're an old school arcade gamer, or you're an old school beat 'em up person, you realize that fun factor is the biggest and most important thing in games like this. So we don't matter about the level of cheese and how crappy graphics can look, or how slow it moves. If you're having fun playing it, it's a good game. And this game definitely was dressed to impress. Now granted, it doesn't look as awesome as, say, Captain America and the Avengers. I don't know what was up with my voice just now. Got tongue-tied and couldn't say it, but, you know. All in all, though, you know, it's not at the caliber of that, but it is plenty fun. And I'll probably be reviewing that game soon, too, because that one's actually pretty awesome. It's always nice to find good arcade games to play and such. And this was one that, for the most part, I was just all into Marvel games when they existed in the arcade. Doesn't mean they were all awesome, but you know, you remember certain games even if you don't know the name of them, to the point where you actually go find them and seek them out later. And this is one of those types of games that just kind of sticks real well in your memory bank. Pretty much, I played it with people before, but I usually end up playing this one by myself, because I mentioned it's sort of a lengthy game. And by lengthy, I mean, okay, most of these games usually are beaten in very quickly, within an hour and a half. Yeah, I don't think I've ever beaten this game quite that quickly. But then again, too, if I probably cut through more of the cutscenes, I'd be there. But I mean, just look at how these stages change up and how they transition you between stages. Because, I mean, I find that zooming in and zooming out, and then turn into more of a platformer versus a beat 'em up, I find that interesting. And that just pretty much made it fun for me. This one wasn't a horrible quarter swallower as some of the other arcade games I've played, and I'll get more into quarter swallowing as I go a little bit more into doing more of these types of reviews. But this is definitely one of those. I liked it better than Spider-Man versus the Kingpin for the consoles. For the most part, the consoles, everything just kind of felt horribly generic and not as awesome. You know what? I might just review those just so I can get that off my chest later. But all in all, I found it kind of rather enjoyable. And instead of just cutting this video off at right here, right now, I'm going to go ahead and let it roll, because you know I keep a question of the day at the end of these things for you to comment on and put your input on. And I'm not making money posting these things up per se from Facebook, so you know, tell as many people as you like. But like until I start getting thousands of viewers, I'm really just not worried about what everyone seems to be upset about at the moment. But you know, it is what it is. Not really much more I can really say about this other than it's fun to play. It's fun to play. And I know I lose hours in it, and you just see me getting beat up with Spider-Man. Saying, you know, Spidey can fight better than that. But then again, you know, I love how the fact that they have Venom so slow because he's like huge. But yet the Kingpin is still like, doesn't care what you're attacking with. But all in all, as beat 'em ups go, this one has a nice fun factor. Controls are not amazingly awesome, and they do kind of sometimes feel a little loose, but you know, given the time that this came out, it was awesome. But you know, given the time it came out, oh gosh, and these cheesy bumpers, because he's saying the same thing each time, and that's what I find funny, is that, you know, he's basically just going through saying the same things, even though it's like 4 of them, like they just weren't bothering to use the voices. And you know, now the downside is I played the X-Men 4-player game before I played this, so this one kind of seemed a little grimy and dungy after sort of playing that. And yes, I said dungy, not grungy. Dungy, as in it's kind of dungeon like, which I need to stop making up words like that and give you a definition first, but that's beside the point. If you know somebody who happens to own pretty much one of these, go play it, because yeah, we still have arcade machine auctions, so you could totally get one of these for a couple $100, I'm sure. And you know, it's awesome. And if you're not doing that and you're into the whole ROM thing, I'm pretty sure this is one that you want to own. But you know, I don't know how that works, so that's just something for you. I don't care. But all in all, it's fun. I found it enjoyable, and I even got other people to join me in playing this. But you know, that's when we're all not working and such, but it seems to be less and less. So I'm gonna go ahead and end my review this time for real. And also to, you know, subscribe, like, comment. I always love when you do that thing, because the input's always good. As you saw at the beginning, you know, I do sell stuff through Amway, so feel free to go by my website, register as a free customer, purchase stuff, make me some money. You know, just the usual thing. You know, I give you reviews or let you watch reviews. Show you cool games, hopefully. And whether you like it or not, you just might find something that you actually need from my store, and I definitely would love for you to buy that. And with that, pretty much this is about the end of the footage anyway. You got some more coming, but this is basically about the end of it. You know, it is what it is. I just love watching the lizard get beat up. Such a twisted character. Can't wait for the new Spider-Man movie to see how that works out. But yeah, later guys. Peace.
flying goblin. Huh. Spider sense tingling, signaling danger. Trouble up ahead. Let's go, Spider-Man.